What's up guys, my name is Ace, and yesterday we got the campaign trailer for Modern Warfare, as well as some other stuff, including a 1-year exclusive for the Spec Ops Survival mode. So quite a bit to cover today. Please forgive my voice for this video. I'm gonna have to struggle my way through this. I am definitely getting sick and my throat is just killing me. But let's first hop into the campaign trailer. I'm not really one to generally get into the gritty details of all the different pieces of the story and everything. But my impression of the story trailer is it was very impressive. I really like what they've done with it so far, even though it was mainly just cutscenes that they're showing. There really wasn't much in the way of gameplay, just the odd clip here or there. But I can tell you, back in May, I did see 2 of these story missions, and you did see little clips of them throughout this trailer, and I can't wait for you guys to see the actual gameplay from it. It is absolutely incredible. Very exciting stuff, and honestly, I think this is the most interested I've been in a campaign for a Call of Duty since, I don't know, World at War. I really love the World at War campaign, so I'm definitely looking forward to checking this one out. More importantly, and the bigger focus of today's video, at the end of the trailer, if you're watching it from the PlayStation channel, or if you were watching State of Play, we had a little teaser for Spec Ops Survival, which, if you guys remember from back in the day, this isn't the entire Spec Ops mode. This is just one little section of the Spec Ops mode where you play on multiplayer maps, and it's a wave-based horde survival mode. So you can buy your equipment, your perks, your guns, things like that. You gain money for killing the horde, and each wave gets progressively harder as you go. Now, this was quite exciting to see at the end of the trailer, until you see at the bottom that this is a 1-year exclusive to PlayStation. I honestly thought I read that wrong, or maybe they just worded it poorly. It couldn't possibly be an entire year of exclusivity for PS4, but it is. This means Xbox and PC players will not have access to Spec Ops Survival mode, and Call of Duty generally has a 1-year cycle, so this means Xbox and PC just don't get Survival with Modern Warfare. And that to me is absolutely ridiculous. I can kind of understand having the 1-week exclusives that we've had, or even a month, even though a month is really pushing it. But 1 year, I just don't know what to say about that. That is insane. Essentially what's happening here is everybody's paying the same price, regardless of what platform you're on. If you're on Xbox, PC, or PlayStation, you're all paying the same price, but Xbox and PC aren't getting the full game, and PlayStation is. And it's not like the previous exclusive scenarios where it's yeah, you're still getting the content, you just get it a little bit later. You get it after the hype dies down, after a week or a month. You're literally not getting it until the realistic life cycle of the game is over. And that's definitely a big issue. I've already seen on Reddit and Twitter and various sources, there is a ton of outrage about this and tons of people canceling their pre-orders. Honestly, I'm probably not even going to play much of the Spec Ops Survival mode. I'll probably play it a couple times just because it's part of the game and I want to check it out. But it's not really the style of mode that I tend to gravitate towards. But at the end of the day, it's really the principle of it and the fact that PlayStation is getting the full game and Xbox and PC aren't. Now, while I was surprised that they did a full year of exclusivity for PlayStation, I knew something was going to be coming because they have confirmed, and this is actually really good news, that all other content, so all of the maps, the modes, the content, the characters, the weapons, all of this content will be coming to all of the platforms on the same day throughout the life cycle of this game. So in some ways, that's really good news. They've essentially scrapped exclusivity for everything else in the game to really keep the community together in the modes that the vast majority of people are spending their time playing, which would be multiplayer. As a result, it looks like this 1-year exclusive for the survival mode is the trade-off for this. And keep in mind, these decisions are not made by the developers. These decisions are made between Activision and Sony. It is completely above the developers' heads, so please don't go attacking the devs for this. I'm sure they hate this just as much as many of us do. But this is likely the compromise they made with PlayStation in order to make this happen for multiplayer. So when you consider that, I do kind of have mixed feelings on this. If we're looking at the bigger picture and the amount of time that the entire community puts into the different modes within the game, this compromise would definitely be benefiting a much larger portion of the community, which would be the multiplayer players. Having said that, some people really love the Spec Ops Survival mode, and that is a huge selling feature for them, and it may even be the mode they play more than anything else. Especially for the zombies players out there. A lot of the zombies players really like this horde style mode, and there isn't going to be zombies this time around in multiplayer, so this is kind of the replacement for zombies players. Having that mode completely locked off for Xbox and PC players for an entire year is really big for that community of players. At the end of the day, once again, it just feels like these big corporations are screwing over the players, because Spec Ops Survival doesn't really feel like it's a bonus mode on top of it. Instead, it feels like it should be a core part of the game, and they're literally just taking that away from Xbox and PC players. This isn't something that helps gamers or helps the community out. It doesn't feel like a reward for owning a PlayStation to have access to Spec Ops Survival. Instead, even as a PS4 player, I just feel like it's designed to screw over the other consoles. I can totally understand exclusives, especially when it comes to like cosmetic type of stuff. That makes so much more sense. Like if you pre-order on PlayStation, you get a special skin that the other consoles don't get. I think that would be a totally fair and balanced system that people wouldn't be too upset about, because at the end of the day, it's just cosmetic changes. However, of course, that wouldn't have nearly as much of an impact on the bottom line, and therefore there's not nearly as much money being thrown around between these companies. So like I said, overall, I've kind of got mixed feelings, but generally pretty negative feelings towards what they've done here, because a one-year exclusive for a game in a franchise that typically just has a realistic one-year life cycle, that's just ridiculous in my eyes. On the other side of that though, I am looking forward to the fact that aside from survival, all platforms are getting all the maps and modes and guns and characters, everything at the exact same time. And that's where I wanted to leave it and ask you guys. What do you guys think about this one-year timed exclusive for Spec Ops Survival, so Xbox and PC players don't get to play this mode for a full year? Is that enough to be a deal breaker for you, or are you still planning on getting the game? Also, what are your thoughts on the more positive news that all platforms will be getting everything else at the same time? Do you think that's a fair compromise, or would you prefer to go back to the system where the other platforms had to wait an entire week to get the maps and the guns and things like that? Personally, of course, the ideal situation for us gamers would be to have no exclusivity at all, at least for any gameplay altering content or gameplay experiences. But unfortunately, it looks like once again, that's just not going to be the case this time around. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time. Yeah.